You aren't going anywhere for a while. My third and final entitled People story is another BMW story. This time it involves a rather popular bar in a major northern UK city. This involved a male Karen, henceforth known as MK. It was early in the day and the bar wasn't open until 7 p.m. that evening. I arrived at the bar, my task for the day being to await a scaffold being delivered and erected, and then use the said scaffold to remove some old CCTV cameras and upgrade them to much better ones. I have a full set of keys for the bar, and the bar has its own private car park, which is protected by locking drop-down bollards. They're not automatic or anything fancy like that, so I have to pull up on the street outside, lock my van up, walk over and drop the bollards, usually with the mandatory soaking as the pits. They are installed and invariably fill up with rainwater, and then finally I pull my van inside. I usually then raise the bollards to stop others parking in there. The place in question is extremely close to the Social Security Benefits Office, and the bollards were indeed installed because their clientele were constantly using it rather than pay to park like the rest of the population. So this morning I pulled in, got out of my van, and dropped the bollards so I could park in the car park. The scaffold truck with the team on was about 20 minutes behind me, so I had time to go in and have a quick walk to the coffee shop, just around the corner. Unfortunately, just after I dropped the bollards, MK drove up in his BMW X5, pulled into the car park and parked. I followed him in and also parked. I tapped on his window and told him it was a private car park and he needed to leave. He was on a hands-free call and he simply gestured me away. So I tapped again and he wound down his window and shouted, "I'm on a fucking phone call," wound his window up and began ignoring me. Although I could have been really malicious and locked him in, I didn't. I simply walked around the corner and got my coffee, leaving the bollards down, so he could leave if he wanted. About 5 minutes later, I came back, coffee in hand. He was still there, still on the phone, and I could see the scaffold lorry at the bottom of the hill making its way up. Again, I tapped on his window and he mouthed, "Fuck off" at me. The lorry arrived. I gestured them to reverse into the small car park, which they did. It blocked up the whole car park. The team of 3 rather big, muscular scaffolders jumped out and started unloading and building the scaffold. A fairly big affair made of around 50 bars and over. 4 levels up the back of the building. 10 minutes passed and the first levels were starting to appear, like a rather fascinating Meccano set. I don't know the first thing about this stuff, so I just watched in awe as they flung together bars and planks like monkeys on speed.